Well, this was not intended to be any sort of topic of a video. I was just going through and doing my normal oil change, cut the filter open to inspect, and yeah, we got some big problems. So, I haven't really figured it out just yet. I do have the filter in the bag, I cut it up, but I will show you. I mean, you could probably see some of the stuff in there. I don't know if the light will help, it won't. Here's the pan that I kept the filter in. I mean, you can see a ton of metal, larger chunks, I would say. So there's two ways this can all go. I don't know if it's bearing. I don't know what it is yet, but there's definitely something in the oil. Now, the oil pan that I just drained the catch pan I just drained the oil into, it looks okay. So it seems like whatever debris that was in the engine is only caught up in the filter as of now. But we're gonna pull the pan off the engine right now. So I have a couple of conspiracy theories. Either A, thrust washer, which if the converter was ballooning, it would push the crank. So the thrust washer would be bad on the bearing, and the oil pump housing could be scarring. Or, thankfully, my buddy Richard watches my YouTube channel, and he pointed out something to me because we were talking back and forth on what it could be. Right before we went to Texas, we put the new setup together. I had a couple of holes that were stripped out for the intake manifold, and we had to drill them out and helicoil them. Well, I'm now learning that those holes go right into the actual oil system of the engine, which I never thought about. So we are hoping that all of this is just based off of when I drilled and tapped the engine. Now, let's go outside real quick. I have a cylinder head laying around here somewhere. There it is. This is my doorstop. This is one of the heads that came with my engine. So basically you have these holes right here that go to your intake manifold. But if we spin the head around, those holes actually go all the way through, which I had no idea about until now. So, in theory, that is all this is just that bit of shavings that were because I drilled and tapped. I would have never thought that was the case. So big shame on me. I know when I did do the oil change before or during the car was down over the winter, I can't remember if it was Eddie or Nick, but one of my buddies cut the filter open because they had to borrow the tool. So I said, here's the filter, you cut mine open too while you're at it. And it was beautiful, it was perfect. So it's kind of surprising because in the data, everything is similar as what it was before. My converter pressure is the same as it was before, and a lot of things are similar. So it'd be really eerie if the motor started eating itself up now, but in the same regards, let's just pray that it's the simplicity of it just being from when I had to drill the intake manifold stud. So let's crawl into the car right now. Like I said, I was changing the oil. So I mean, that's the oil pan. And I mean, honestly, like I said, there really isn't anything in here. I mean, the oil's kind of milky, sure, but in the same, I mean, that's just from the ethanol. I doubt it's from anything else. But I mean, like, there's no big chunks or anything in this pan, so I'm not really concerned of anything. So I am curious. This will be the first time the pan has come off the engine, basically since it went in the car. I want to see if we can pull the pan without dropping the subframe. That's task number one. So as you can see right now, I actually just unbolted the steering rack and I set it down, I hanged it lower. So I'm gonna see if we can go ahead and pull the pan with the clearance we have right here. So let's go ahead and do that. I will stick you guys in a time lapse and wish me luck. Alrighty, so we got the pan off. I actually had to drop the subframe just a little bit So I noticed 3 of the rod caps, I mean the whole rod assembly is blue. So what I'm gonna do right now is I'm pulling off, what would this be? It'd be cylinder number 2. I'm gonna pull this rod cap off. We can look at the bearings just to see, because I don't know if the blue is a significant issue with the bearing itself, or if it's just naturally that way. Let's see what we got here. I will say there's definitely some scoring in here. You can feel it. You can definitely feel it with your hand. If you rub your finger back and forth. Man, this ain't too good. Crank drill looks perfect though. Huh. Alright, I'm gonna keep looking at stuff. Alrighty, so I pulled off the number 2 cap like you guys saw. Just checked over the bearing real quick and put the cap back on. It does have long waist kind of grooving, but it's actually not, you can't really feel it at all with your finger. Everything else in here looks great. I mean, there's nothing loose, there's nothing that's pissy. The crank really doesn't move back and forth. The thrusts look pretty thick still. So the only thing else I want to check while we're in here is make sure that is clean. And then I think we're in good shape. And then we'll go through and we're gonna check the oil pan. You can see the cam up there. I mean, the cam doesn't look like it has any scarring any which way I've looked at it down here. I mean, this looks like a pretty happy girl. So, yep, let's check the oil pan out. Alrighty, so I just got the oil pan. I just took the bolts off for this little windage tray deal. Let's go ahead and pull this off. And honestly, I see the same shimmers as I did in the filter, but that's it. Like, I think there was more oil in the filter than there is in the pan. So yeah, I'm definitely under the assumption that this was just because that the drilling and tapping, because it's exactly what all of this looks like. So my plan right now is I'm going to go ahead and clean up this oil pan the best I can, wipe everything down, put it back on the car, and I think we're gonna be okay. So I pulled 3 of the rod caps off. They were fine. Like I said, there was that little bit of scoring back and forth, but I've always been told if it's uniform, like it's not cross, it's just straight through, it's usually okay. The journals themselves on the crank aren't scarred, like I can't feel anything with my finger. So I think we'll be all right. But I will definitely say, I believe Richard said he's got a couple motors laying around. So I do want to put a forged rotating assembly together. So maybe this will happen sooner than later. All I know is I just really want to get to the track this Friday to do my license passes. So anyway, I'm gonna go clean this up and throw this girl back together. All right, here we are the next day. I don't really know what happened. I was working on the car last night. I looked over, the camera I think died. So unfortunately I didn't get a bunch of footage because I kind of wanted to knock it out last night. So kind of a recap. Dirty oil, pulled the pan, freaked out, pulled a couple of the caps off. Everything looks good. We cleaned the oil pan. Oil pan's now clean, put it all back together, and now I'm going to be starting the process. Let's go ahead and fill her back up and at least prime it. So I got my oil cap adapter fitting off, and then we're gonna go ahead and fill it with 7 quarts of that good VR1 and start her up and make sure it still works. Even though it does, it's just an excuse to start it. Alright, let's go get this girl primed up now. Still need to change that screen one day. I want to put a big turtle. Alright, let's go ahead and prime it. Alright, 46 pounds of oil pressure. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and fire the bad girl up.
She's still kind of cold, so she's feisty right now.
Oh, wake back up.
Wake up. Wake up.
And if I haven't told you I tuned it myself, I tuned it myself. Well, so after having the car running for a while, it got up to temp, it started lowering down. It was settling about mid 190s for coolant temp, which is great. So I think I kind of want to go to McDonald's. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of want to get some fast food right now. So what other car to take than the Turtle? So I think right now, go ahead and close the hood. I will put my other GoPro inside and let's go take this girl on the street. It's been a while. We're sitting in the Taco Bell drive-thru. This will be a decent test for the cooling system, I guess, because this one by my house takes forever. So right now we're chilling at 201, and honestly it seems like it's climbing pretty quick. So well, I can always shut the car off and just let the water circulate with the fan, but I have no reason to. I mean, if it doesn't go over 220, then honestly it's fine. So pretty much any LS vehicle runs that from the factory. So when I get done with this line at Taco Bell, we are going for a fun trip tonight. We're taking out Nick's burnout van. We're gonna go to Leadfoot City. I've never been, so it'll be kind of a neat experience to see that facility, and then I believe Nick's gonna make a rip or two. she just passed the Taco Bell test. Now I will admit, I stopped at Nick's real quick to eat my soft taco, and during the drive I pretty much drank most of my Mountain Dew. I still got my quesadilla in there. But nonetheless, I can't be any happier. I mean, I do know the motor's gonna have to be pulled out soon to be refreshed. Like I said, the thrusts look like they are worn, but I just need to make 6 passes this weekend, so I'm kind of hoping I can just get away with that. Maybe pull the motor out next week, refresh it, we'll see. I don't know yet. It's either that it's gonna happen or we're gonna put a second bullet together. I'm not sure, don't know yet. Nonetheless, in Atlanta last weekend, we went 829 at 166. I just drove it through the Taco Bell drive-thru. So needless to say, the Turtle is something I'm very proud of. You know, I've always enjoyed the Miata platform. The car was fun when it was 4-cylinder, but at the speeds that I'm going and still like the usability, I guess if that's the word, streetability, whatever you want to call it, you can't compare it with the LS stuff. I mean, it is what it is. And so I do appreciate the 4-cylinder stuff. Just for me personally, I will never ever look back. This car goes faster to the 8th mile per hour than the 4-cylinder ever thought of doing in the quarter. And we're just getting started. So anyway, I think I'm gonna end today's video here. I am going with Nick tonight to the Leadfoot City, so that'll be a separate video. Since I haven't made much videos lately, we've got to start making a little bit more content. So anyway, Turtle is happy. We are going testing tomorrow in Bradenton. Not gonna set a personal best that I think. The only purpose that we're going to Bradenton is because I have to do my 6 passes for my NHRA license. So that is tomorrow's goal. A couple 60-foot hits, a couple 330 hits, an 8th mile hit, and then a full quarter hit is basically my understanding of what needs to happen. So anyway, that'll be it for today's video, guys, and I will catch you later.